Здравствуйте, привет всем, Хайцман, Зирадждам, привет. Кредит на iPhone. Так, у меня сегодня какая-то фигня с освещением. Я пытаюсь по-разному ставить освещение, чтобы мне, так сказать, не пересвечивал ебасос. Вот. Пока получается плохо. Может быть, я могу вот так сделать. Наверное, чуть получше. Еще 2 часа срались. Замечательно. Если вы получаете от этого удовольствие, все хорошо. Значит, добро пожаловать в 47-й, да, 47-й эпизод СТО. Half-Life 1, Xash3D, Vulkan и вот это вот все. Зачем я это говорю? Все равно это никто не смотрит, кто это никогда не смотрел и не знает, что тут происходит. Вот. Сделаю маленькое объявление сейчас на английском. Hello everyone. If anyone wants me to speak English, please let me know, because main language here on my streams is Russian, because there are many Russians here, and yeah, please let me know. Like, there's a highly invisible message about this somewhere on the top, but you probably don't see it. Zlumix, привет. Вместе сна. Да. Короче, я вчера посидел, посмотрел. Значит, мы в прошлый раз остановились на том, что у нас не отображаются местами всякие штуки, которые должны отображаться. Вот, давайте я вам... я посмотрел, я это починил. Давайте я вам расскажу, как я это починил. Я сейчас открою VK Map C. Сделаю вот такую штуку. Не подсматривайте. Запущу... Где же я ее запускал-то? Да, я еще и LDB пересобрал нормально с LibEdit. Где же я запускал? RenderDoc. Давайте откроем, значит, RenderDoc. Где это должно быть? Мне кажется, вот эта фигня должна быть на экране 2. Вот, давайте откроем RenderDoc и посмотрим. Значит, Load Settings. Убираю VK Debug, потому что сейчас иначе оно... и мне надо пересобрать тебя. Мне надо тебя пересобрать. Это... Build. Давайте я тебя пересоберу. Да. И запущу тебя без VK Debug. Squirtle, привет. Dukilo Swag, привет. Votes. Hello, yeah, you sure? Please ask questions in English, because I made an announcement a couple of minutes ago. Like, my main language is Russian because my main audience is Russian. But please, if you want me to speak English, please let me know, and ask questions asked in English will be mostly answered in English too. Otherwise, if I know that you speak Russian. I might switch to Russian, but yeah, please please ask in English, so I will speak English too. So what I was doing right now, so last time we had some rendering errors where some objects weren't shown, and I had some time to debug these yesterday, not on stream. And I figured out what the problem was, and I want to show you what it was. Трава, привет. So, we can like start this. I hope it works. Yeah, it should work. So we start this. For some reason the frames per second is very low. 2 стрима. На каких 2 стрима? Говоришь, титры появлялись. Да. Кстати, так можно делать. То есть мы видим, какие-то объекты есть, а сейчас у нас будет ли тут дверь? Вот, смотрите, двери нет. Мы берем, делаем, значит, кэпчером кадр. Выходим сюда, дверь появляется, заходим сюда, дверь есть, но теперь мы проходим сюда назад, и здесь сейчас не будет стула, смотрите, нет стула, и нет вот этой двери, и вот этой двери тоже нет. То есть, типа, мы видим, что каких-то кусков геометрии не хватает. Вот. Короче, в чем дело? Значит, давайте выйдем отсюда. Это можно, в принципе, даже вот так выйти. Вот. Короче, у нас есть вот этот кадр. Мы заходим сюда, в Color Pass. У нас BC. Стоп Гейминг, привет. Верон 0608, привет. Анимации... какие-то анимации уже работают, но у нас нет пока моделей, студийных моделей, то есть всяких людей, там, entity и прочих. У нас есть только браш-модели. Короче, смотрите, и здесь мы видим, что тут миллиард вот этих вот дроу-колов. Ну, не миллиард, а их там типа 2 или 3 тысячи штук. И это выглядит подозрительно, потому что мы знаем по логам, что у нас entity было совсем... кот наплакал, там, штук 10 примерно на кадр должно быть. В смысле браш-моделей, да? Entity, я буду как попало их называть. Вот, теперь, что мы делаем? Значит, в прошлый раз, чтобы понять, почему эта фигня происходит, не в прошлый раз, в смысле вчера, я посмотрел на вот этот вот экстеншн, VKX-debug, это в кадр, под 3000 троу-колов на кадр. Вот, я посмотрел на вот этот этот экстеншн позволяет... Нам Фин, привет. Этот экстеншн позволяет, значит, добавлять всякую отладочную информацию в VKX Debug Utils. И у него, в частности, у него есть такие прекрасные штуки, как VK, как там было, Set Debug Utils Object Name. Можно на каждый объект назначить какое-то строковое имя. То есть, например, мы заходим сюда и видим, что у нас 2D-имиджей тоже тут, миллион 2D-имиджей. Ну, не миллион, но то есть дофига. Вот. И что это за имидж? Надо кликнуть куда-то, View Contents, и увидеть, что это стрелочка. Вот. Или там сюда View Contents, и увидеть, что это такой кусочек. Типа, что это? Короче, можно назначить на каждую штуку по имени. Это первый момент, что можно сделать. Freezy Zero now. Hello. Yeah, please let me know if you want me to speak English. Like, it's a usual problem for my streams. I have no idea how to organize this so I can cater to both like Russian and English speaking audiences. So like my best solution so far is just please let me know if you want me to speak English. I will try to repeat the same stuff both in Russian and English. Yeah. Everyone. Ask something in English. Yeah, maybe I should make this announcement really visible on my screen somewhere. So, like, I was talking about how we debug our frame rendering in RenderDoc. So the issue that we have some missing geometry, as you can see, like, there's no, you can see, like, it's chat is over this. So that there's no door here, but it should be there. And I was trying to figure out like why. And when you see the frame capture in RenderDoc here, you see that there's way too many draw calls. There should be that many, as you can see, like maybe like this is not 3000, it's more like 7000 draw calls. No, it's like divided by 2, right? Because each of these is actually like some being descriptor sets and stuff. Yeah, so like maybe 3000 is good. Just talking English, okay. Binary instead, yeah. But we have no idea what object this corresponds to. Yeah, sure, we can go to like this thing and try to like manually figure out what. Let me do this more visible to you too. So like we can try to figure out what is drawn, but we can't actually see like why this particular door isn't being drawn. Like it's hard to figure out. So yeah, as I was saying, overlay helps here. Well, what overlay are we talking about? So there's this particular thing that's like VKX Debug Utils extension that we can use to first, we can tag objects with string names, so we can figure out what like these image names correspond to textures, which is kind of irrelevant to this task, but it also helpful in other ways. And then there are these VK-CMD begin utils label, end utils label, and insert utils label, which correspond to like we can insert string labels into our command stream. So we can actually look at these things here and know we and correlate these draw calls to our objects. Render overlay options so was being rasterized. Well, I don't know that. Like, this is my third time using render doc, and most previous time were here on stream. So, well, yeah. Suburb. Fix cyberpunk issues. Yeah. I actually haven't even played it yet, so I'm waiting for them to fix it. Texture version, overlay box, texture viewer options bar. Texture viewer options bars. It's not, well, I'm blind, I can't see anything. I'm not sure what you're talking about. It's in front of your screen, but like there are many images, many buttons, I have no idea. Channels, zoom, overlay, okay. So this is actually I think I have it. Yeah, my process has been closed, but we can restart and experiment with this thing. How does this work? Should I have the process running for that to work? Or do you mean like... Yeah, I think it should be like, okay, capture this. Yeah, and it's completely... Рисочка, привет. Я правильно читаю? Я понятия не имею, как читать. Киринас, привет. The process doesn't need to be run. Yeah, probably you are correct. So, where was I? So, overlay, highlight, draw call. Oh, you mean, yeah, sure, that also helps. Highlight, draw call, and they're like wireframe mesh. Clear before. Yeah, maybe okay, I get the idea, thanks. So yeah, what I was talking previously, like we can insert this thing into our command stream, and this is what I did. So first I did name the textures properly here. So if we have this VK debug thing set, we will tag our textures with their string names, their names as they are in the engine. So object handle and list text name. So we set to this VK image handle the name, this name, where we are loading it from, and basically set it, and the same goes for the VK image view. Стонь девк, привет. Я пытаюсь переключаться между языками. Айгуддук, привет. Дикас, мод, всем привет. So, да, короче, вот, пользуясь этим экстеншеном, я назначил имена ImageView, те имена, которые нам пришли при загрузке текстуры, и, соответственно, саму VK-Image тоже объекту я назначил это же самое имя. And next thing that I did, I inserted some labels into drawBrush model thing. So we have this function drawBrush model, and there, like, when we begin drawing brush model, I do cmd begin utils label thing with the model name. And there can be multiple draw calls, as you remember, like we call as draw calls by textures. And then we do like cmd and a label, which there are no arguments, it just ends the label that was the latest one. I wonder if they can like nest into each other, but I don't need that right now. Короче, смотрите, в нашей функции drawBrush model я тоже сделал, соответственно, метки, строковые метки для каждой модели. То есть, когда мы начинаем рисовать модель, я начинаю метку с именем этой модели. И когда мы заканчиваем ее рисовать, я просто заканчиваю метку. То есть они парные, одна заканчивает вторую. То есть тут никаких аргументов нету. Вот. Ну и тут как бы у нас куча дроу-коллов может быть, но они будут все объединены в одну группу. And now what we can do, we can actually, like, let me close this capture, we can add this vk debug argument to this thing and run it. No, don't save this capture. And now we can see, let it do its thing. Now we can try to, like, what we can do? Like, okay, this is how I did it. So, like, you see that there's no door here. Like, I captured this frame. Then I got to this level. Then I got back to this level. And again, captured the same frame from roughly the same position. And now we can try to compare these frames. Павел, привет. Пуцка, пусечка. Хорошо, пусечка, пуцочка. Хорошо. То есть, смотрите, что я сделал? Я зашел в игру, закапчурил два кадра, где у нас дверь есть и где ее нету. И теперь я могу их сравнить. То есть, видели, там дроу-коллы были совсем непонятные. Теперь я могу, короче, взять и загрузить вот эту вот штуку. Например, где у нас дверь есть. И видите, у нас теперь дроу-коллы помечены именами. So as you can see, like, we loaded this frame where we have the door, and we loaded this thing, and we now can see actual names for the draw calls, and we can look at how they are being drawn, and you can already see, like, why do we render model 1 many times? Like, this is weird. And now we can actually also figure out this thing. So, like, this is asterisk 40. So the door is asterisk 40. То есть мы посмотрели, видим, во-первых, очень странно, что мы перерисовываем все одно и то же много раз. То есть, видите, они повторяются. Так не должно быть. А во-вторых, мы заметили, что дверь это звездочка 40. Now we go to another frame. And see at the list of objects there. Look at the list of objects there. And see that they are completely different. They are doing something different. And there is no 40. Like, there's no 40. And as we, like, do repeat them, so, like, 13, then 13 again, then, like, 13 again, they do repeat. It gives us an idea that maybe our list of objects to draw is corrupted. Like, it doesn't get cleaned. Кто-то посмотрел. Thanks. То есть, смотрите, мы видим, что, во-первых, здесь 40-й нету, можно даже поискать ее, да, 40. Давайте, 40. Нет, ну найдет не то. Давайте 40. Нету, да? Видите, нету. Вот. А во-вторых, мы видим, что он повторяется, и это явно значит, что у нас просто не очищается этот список. Копченый список. Да. И фикс этой штуки, это просто было добавить clear scene функцию с вот этой вот фигней. То есть теперь мы берем, пересобираем. So the fix was like to actually clear scene. I haven't implemented this function. I don't know why. I just forgot. So we have to like zero number of entities to read for every frame. And now we won't have this list of objects to render overflow. And we can actually try to restart this entire thing. Yeah, we should exit and like relaunch. And now we'll see that everything works correctly. Мы занулили номер текущего объекта. Сейчас мы тут побегаем, чтобы он накопился. Сейчас стульчик повернется. Смотрите, стульчик повернется. Теперь мы идем сюда. Смотрите, дверка на месте. Раз. Выйдем сюда. Зайдем назад. Побегаем чуть-чуть, побегаем. Давайте немножко побегаем, посмотрим туда, накопим список, если бы он был накапливался. So I just like running around to... Yeah, something weird happened. I'm not sure what. Yeah, I think I have like GPU issues. Yeah. So this is weird. Why? At least it wasn't like full GPU crash, I didn't have to reload. So we can see, we can... что я показывал? Graphics programmer streamer, yeah. I streamed Vulkan ray tracing from like Windows virtual machine about a month ago. So, and we actually ended up reinstalling drivers live on stream and stuff like that, like rebooting Windows, which is nice, like you can stream stuff like that. GLPC stream setup, yeah. Probably, yeah. But it's like, I'm not a professional streamer, and this is way too much production for me. Anyway, so we can see that when we fix that, we have only three things that we draw. Like some weird thing there, the door, and some other weird thing. And that's it. Какая клавиатура? Клавиатура Logitech Silver G413. Я и не могу поднять, он провод короткий. То есть, смотрите, у нас получился такой фикс. То есть мы когда исправили обнуление количества объектов, все, у нас теперь всего их 3 штуки, и все они рисуются. Вот и весь фикс. И это я потратил, я не знаю, сколько вашего времени потратил, но, короче, сколько-то времени потратил, да. Ой, мне опять все подергивается. Я думаю, сейчас опять все как грохнется. Короче, видимо, сегодня у меня стрим дергается. У меня мышка даже дергается, и звук дергается, и все дергается. Так, давайте я закрою эту же программу. Окей, so. What do we do next? So, another thing that I wanted to do today previously was to look at how do we do models, like studio models. Про отдельный стрим, пока дали стрима. Да. Сложно. Чисто технически, наверное, мне даже карты захвата не надо. Я могу какой-нибудь малиной захватить. Но это HDMI-шенька. Ага, как все больно. Да, я хотел поделать модели, но модели, они какие-то совсем бешеные. То есть, если мы откроем... Только им кодить. Нет, кодить тест... Нет, смысл в том, что нужна OBS-ина, и вот сам стрим должен идти с отдельного компа, на котором ничего не происходит безумного. Ну вот, чтобы, если что, падал только захват экрана и сама система, на которой идет кодирование, а звук оставался на месте, моя рожица оставалась на месте, и все вот это оставалось на месте. Как малиной захватишь. Сейчас я вам покажу, как я малиной захвачу. Покажу ли я вам, как малиной захвачу? Сейчас я вам покажу, погодите. У меня опять есть очередная коробка, значит, с всякой малинностью. Это моя коробка малин. И тут у меня есть вот такая конструкция из множества взаимосвязанных тигров, используемая как ориентир. Значит, какая-то малинка, и у нее какая-то HDMI вход, который втыкается во вход камеры. Это, конечно, не 60 FPS Full HD, но там FPS 30, по-моему, он одно дает. Я ее протестил, но как-то работает. Виртуалку стрим. Да, виртуалку я буду стримить, когда мы будем делать, соответственно, RTX, что будет довольно скоро, я надеюсь. 80p60. Не очень понятно как. Народ говорит, не может. Я так и не смог. Can you share music playlist? It's here. If you need full playlist, there's no easy way to share that. Yeah, usually shares it manually with in my Discord server. So, hello. Yeah, hello, individual lambda. Yeah, welcome. I can explain in English. So we just had small discussion about like I should have a separate PC for streaming, because like we just had the stream crash because I have no idea what GPU load caused that. Дешевый HDMI USB кривой. У меня таких свистка 3, наверное, лежит, и они все дают какое-то VHS качество. И задержка в полгода тоже, да. So yeah, today I wanted to do, like previously I planned to do models, studio models, and now I'm sure that I won't be able to do that. GBJ War, thank you for following, welcome to the stream. Because like they are completely inane. GL Studio C, like there's this studio file that is like 4,000 lines long, and I have no idea what's going on there. I tried to read it for like about an hour yesterday before this stream, and yeah, it's kind of hard to figure out. There's also view model. Wow. So this means like crowbar and stuff, right? Yeah, I had trouble following what they do there. That sounds really cool. Thank you. So we actually have some stuff going, but we draw on the brush geometry for now, and our light maps are messed up. They don't respect light run lights, whatever that thing is called. Should be hands, yeah. So like this is existing code, which again, like in the style of Xash3D render, it uses a lot of shared global state, which makes this especially hard to follow. And what they do there, they are studio render. Like there are few things that make it difficult. Like shared global state is one thing, so you have to pay attention to all the things that that were modified prior to actually trying to render anything. Then there's like Xash3D supports many games. It supports like Quake 1. It supports obviously Half-Life and some like weird mods, and it has special code for third-party mods. And it's hard to get the whole picture from this. Different Xash render compared to OpenGL1 Shell's team. So I have no idea. I don't have any experience with Xash engine prior to trying to write Vulkan render for it. So there's that. Like I'm trying to learn things on the fly, and I'm kind of succeed partially in some of them. Yeah. It might be the case that the Xash3D engine is very different from official like GoldSrc. Like it tried to mimic it, tried to behave the same, but it might internally it might be very, very, very different. So yeah, there's a lot of like all these functions, they set some global state, and like where do we even draw? Like I have no idea. Stop lighting, studio render model, like this is a great function that doesn't accept any arguments, it just like reads some global state. So we go into that, and then like there's this studio render final, so it does something. Then it like compares some, what is this? I have no idea what is this. There's no comments, there's no like indication of why do we need all of these. But we know that we will render in this studio render final, and then there are like multiple draw entities modes, so we can like draw bones, which is like the OpenGL 1, GL begin GL end stuff, which seems that it draw lines. So like this is debug, right? Draw hulls also seem like it should be a debug thing, right? Здесь очень сложный рендер, очень сложный непонятный рендер. 4000 строк кода, который манипулирует глобальным каким-то стейтом. Was interesting in the render for Half-Life adventure option, but they scattered around different releases. We skilled enough to comprehend that. Look and feel. Sadly. Interesting, like you then you probably know about these renders more than I do, because like I don't even know the right naming for things. Like I only recently figured out that there are like brush models, there are like studio models and stuff like that. Yeah, I just like, okay, let's write some render, and I just started doing things and figured them out on the fly. So maybe this is the thing that draws them. So like our studio draw points and like studio draw shadow. What does this thing do? Blend, that fun less. Studio draw points shadow. Is it like projection shadow or something? Yeah, it's weird. Maybe it should be like draw points. Maybe this is like, why is it called draw points? Yeah, and this seems like it does something. Bone weights, numbers. So for each word it does compute skin matrix, whatever that is. Vector transform, skin matrix, light strengths. Okay. Normals, vector rotate. Okay, this is easier code path, and then normal table. Yeah, whatever that is. And then it goes through the list of submeshes. List of meshes. Flags. There's setup Chrome. Like, what is that? What is this? No idea. It might be more 5 version, Half-Life versus 1 version, 90 CD, Steam version, Xash3D, which is source ported, and one Steam and few extra Chrome. Yeah, there's like this Chrome thing, whatever. Instant gratification ape, thank you for following. Welcome to the stream. Texture type. Инкурсо, привет. Я пытаюсь разобраться, как работают модели. So like we go through all of this setup. То есть мы делаем, смотрите, кучу какого-то сетапа, в зависимости от того, какой тип у нас, какие флажки выставлены, там что-то куча вот этого всего. Дальше мы делаем какой-то кусорт. So we sort meshes for some reason. And then we do want normals. Then we again go through all of the meshes. То есть, смотрите, мы там что-то подготовили, и потом мы идем опять по мешам. И вот она пошла отрисовка. Вот она отрисовка. То есть мы поставили какой-то setup skin. So we set up some GL state here. And then build array, build array, build array, studio draw arrays. Yeah, so this draws something. So if like draw elements is set, otherwise it does this. Yeah, and there is a lot of global state involved. Yeah, jail begin. Yeah. F. Yeah, I have no experience with any game engine. So like I'm trying to figure all of this out. Such interesting draw from back to front. Probably, yeah. So I guess we won't be doing models today. So there are a couple of ways that I could do this. One of them is I could try to read this code a bit more and like spend a few hours tracing everything, draw structure of this code, and then try to figure it out. Try to map this to Vulkan. Another way would be to just try to copy it over and replace everything OpenGL with Vulkan and then try to clean it up. But it can be kind of difficult to do this way too. Like, it may turn out that, like, okay, PGL, how many PGL things are there? There are many. Studio set color begin. Can track this, render shadow, triangle fan. Yeah, like everything like this is kind of separate pipeline in Vulkan. То есть каждый из вот этих способов отрисовки это отдельный пайплайн в Вулкане. Водопровод, конечно. You can do it. Yeah, well, we do have a lot of things going on already. So I can like run this. What? Oh, I have a lot of breakpoints. how do I like break point? Can I like clear all of them? Please. Point list. Point list break. Oh, I have a lot of them. Disable. What? Yeah, all of them disabled. Nice. Continue. So yeah, this is running my render. There are no models, but there's map. A separate pipeline, but it would be a separate draw call. Well, we can. Technically, it has to be a separate pipeline because like triangle fan and triangle list is a different pipeline. We could like rearrange indices so that we have. Yeah, there is no transparency today. But yeah, here you don't change and it's switch pipeline usually. I think it's limited by something, so like it's limited by 70 frames per second in engine, I think, because like my monitor is actually, yeah, my monitor is 120. Yeah, we need this thing, which we can see. Most of all, could be a single pass, single shader in such simple graphics. Yes, but we need to get there somehow. We need to get there, and current global code isn't helping in that. So I do need to understand it still. So my plan for today, when I figured out that I don't have enough mental capacity to do. Look at this. Like this is great, right? Primitive types. See how Voodoo software directors render service this could help you. I don't think that they would help me. Okay, so when I draw something with Vulkan, my screen starts to like freeze for a few seconds. If you can warp your head around or remap it. So yeah, yeah, probably this is the way that I would do it, but it won't be today. Like it's way too much thing, and I want to clean up other things today. So a bit simpler as you can set up the pipeline from that. And let's forget about game faces with situational. Maybe the game faces are for textures that aren't supposed to be shown, and there's some code that like filters them out in other renderers, and I don't do that. But I love them. Gabe is looking at me doing this thing. Light maps, yeah. No, today will be the short stream. I do Monday and Wednesday are short like 2-hour streams. Дебажный капит. Я хотел сегодня немножко порефакторить, чисто для души, для удовольствия, расслабиться, так сказать. Пиваса не хватает, еще под пиваса сидеть, рефакторить. Despite the fact that Xash... Really? Like, did he comment on Xash existence? I think like Xash3D should be so under the radar, so like they wouldn't even know about it, right? Yeah, but if he commented like Xash, no, like I love the fact that he looks at me and like What was the English word for... Как по-английски будет сукаризный такой смотрит, типа, с презрением. Instant Rectification, привет. Я делаю вулкановый рендер для Xash3D. Xash3D это GoldSrc совместимый движок, то есть, который может гонять Half-Life и прочие игры, первый Half-Life. Yeah, they had to reverse engineer GoldSrc to him, that's stolen code. What? Like, reverse engineering is like completely legal. It's completely legal in... I don't know any jurisdiction where it's illegal. While filming cares. Yeah, so like they should be completely like, why? They are not losing money to it. Кишки одного движка переделаешь его на рендер через вулкан. Типа того. Типа того, да. Still 3 leaks. Yeah, I don't know, like I have kind of different moral stance on leaks. I mean, well, I wonder how I would feel if my stuff was leaked, but again, like I do most of my stuff live. I don't know. I mean, like, my moral stance on this, I would love more artists and more, like, developers of stuff being more transparent about, like, their creative process, because it helps other creators to have better picture of what's going on under the hood and have better expectations. Because, like, if everything is done behind closed doors, you have no idea how to get... you have a... I guess warped image of what's going on in the industry, which doesn't help at all. So yeah. Нарушает ли... не нарушает. Короче, есть куча примеров того, как реверс-инженерили и пытались засудить, и нет. Короче, да. Не скомпилировалось как-то. Короче, насколько... И опять же, я не юрист, да, то есть мое мнение не имеет никакого веса, но из того, что я читал, короче, народ совершенно спокойно реверсит все подряд, и Юлой можно потереться. It's legal. Yeah, that's a good criteria. Anyway, I think I'm streaming for more than an hour. Not more, almost an hour. It's time for me to do... I think it should be time for me to do... let me make a timer, and I will do pipeline caches a bit. Such cool thing. Yeah. Okay, so what I wanted to refactor, we started with this file as BK map, and I think this is not a good idea to call it BK map anymore, because I started with, I had no idea what I was doing. I think what we need to do, we need to split it into two files. One file which will be VK scene, which will hold all of these entities and stuff. And it won't be specific to like brush entities or anything. It will be like any entities, and we'll have a VK brush which will be specific to rendering brushes. Короче, я хочу разделить этот файл, map на сцену, которая будет менеджить просто вот этот вот список на отрисовку, и VK-браш, который будет рисовать браши. Я думаю, как-то так это нужно сделать. Вот, реф ВК, давайте ВК, браш, C сделаем и перенесем все про браши туда. И брашевые пайплайны, туда же и лог вертисы, с которым мы так и не сделали. Uniform data. Вот uniform data не очень понятно, что здесь, что с ним делать. Наверное, тоже. Наверное, тоже create pipelines туда же. So I'm just moving things over to different files. So Vulkan render, sorry, a bit for real time. So this is the goal. Like, this is why I started this project at all. I want to do real time ray tracing using RTX with this thing. And I already tried it for my other completely separate offline, not offline real time, but it's a separate utility. Half-Life map render, source engine map render, which renders map from like Half-Life 2 and stuff. So I have that code base. Yeah. OMG Penguin, hello. Like, I don't have bot. I'm not a professional streamer. This is I do this for fun. I don't do production for my stream, so there's no proper like bots or comments or anything. Yeah. You can check out my streams from about a month ago, maybe a month and a week or two. I was doing like Vulkan ray tracing in real time. Map init. I think, yeah, map init should also be there, but it's then we should new map maybe should be here. It will call the brush clear and it will load models. Yeah, we'll probably have to copy this over to load brush model. Yeah, I think this goes here. Render scene is here. Map render and map C. Okay. MD cards. So I don't have an MD card yet because it's impossible to buy, as everything else. I have NVIDIA 270 from 2070 from last year. I bought it almost 2 years ago, not like year and a half ago, and it was kind of okay. Must have had yeah, so it's a lot of work. We'll see how it goes. I can also try to do like ray tracing without any RTX extensions, but it will be like 20 times slower or something like that. Don't do продаж, сидя перед хромакеем. Так это хромакей, он настроен был, сколько месяцев я его настраивал. Он до сих пор не настроен нормально. Что у меня со светом происходит? Что попало? Terminal using... I'm not using Tmax here, I'm using Electricity, and that's what I have to say. Так, смотрите, я раскидал, маленько раскидал, чуть-чуть раскидал. Я думаю, что... Мне, наверное... Ай-яй-яй-яй, что-то не то сделал. Мне нужно тебе, значит, сделать заголовочный файл. KVK brush H. So what API do you have? I think we should have something like this, like maybe like Boolean, because like technically it can fail. Marine 3, привет. Would it be possible to have a console commands to turn off the ray tracing hardware stuff? Like it's possible to write it the way that that could be a real-time toggleable. Yeah, it should be possible. Like the data is very similar in the memory, but again, like there's multitude of possibilities, right? So current render that I have tries to follow older binding model of Vulkan, so it has a higher chance to run on older and slower hardware. There is it's like Raspberry Pi and stuff, and maybe like some half-broken Vulkan drivers. There's a way to do this completely bindless, so you have all your textures or all your entities, whatever, in memory already, and you do basically like you read textures, you read rendering arguments like texture indexes to textures, arrays, vertex data and stuff like that from like storage buffers. There's a way to do that, but I expect it to be slower and for it to break on some obscure Vulkan drivers or something like that, because it's not the most not the most usual path. Yeah. And RTX is kind of requires this. So for RTX you have to have like your entire scene, even invisible objects, have to be in memory, in GPU memory. And you when you like your ray hits geometry, you have to somehow from like this intersection index, from geometry index, you have to go to like some storage buffer and figure out what your textures are, what your like materials are and stuff like that. Нитерас, привет. The Xash нет, не пользуюсь. But technically, like if you do the Vulkan render second way, like switching between RTX and non-RTX rendering should be fairly straightforward. At real time. ТВ, привет. По-моему, здоровались уже. That would be really nice. Yeah. Okay, I have to do some pipeline caching. No, actually, I have to do pipeline caching here too. So. Maybe we'll get to that today. Да, ладно. Нет, пятки не отрываю. What else? What else do we do? Do we need here? Да. So what should we do here? So this is not PK map I need, it's brush I need. And we also need to like include K brush. Just include that. На одной ноге. Да. Не, до Арсения я не допрыгну никогда. Прикольный трек. Do we need we need VK core, right? VK core or VK common? Max draw entities. Oh well, I think we don't need to have some kind of like common. Try it using dictionary with other Xash compatible games. No. So the thing is, I'm trying to do. I'm trying to. I'm targeting only Half-Life 1 for now. Other games, like the renderer code, is really hard to follow. Current rendering for like both software and GL stuff, and I deliberately make a decision to only support the most common path. There are lots of quirks for other games, and I don't have mental capacity to do all of this. So the project goal is to draw Half-Life 1, and then maybe a community will help to get it to draw other games too. Just I don't have enough bandwidth to do all of this. Draw entities. We have to have like this draw entity. Полотенце, привет. Цветовая схема какая-то. Слушай, я не помню. Сеул 256. Brush new map. Brush clear. Maybe like that, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of code to support some like third-party games and extension mods and stuff like that. I'm not sure about the extent of how much stuff we need to support for them to render, but from the looks of it, there's a lot of stuff. Some things are more straightforward than they are. Well. Here's the thing, so more often than not, your problem domain is kind of straightforward, and the complexity that you see in many things is not inherent to your problem domain. It's just an accident of, I don't know, historical accident or something like that. Like it's, I will put it the hard way, like it's always possible to simplify a system. Like I have never seen a system that is impossible to simplify. So maybe like there is a chance, maybe like there is a lot of accidental complexity in Xash render, and maybe it's possible to support other games in easier way than it's currently done in existing render. Квантмех. А чё с квантмехом не так? Like, I do these demo scene size coding programs for fun, like 4K intro, like 4 kilobytes executable file that does 3D, complex 3D graphics, synthesizing music and stuff like this. And there is... I have never ran into a case where I can't, like, get it into fewer bytes. It's usually like just I usually run it into time limit, so I don't have, there's a deadline and I don't have any more time. But it's always possible to make it better, faster, smaller, and yeah, even for small things like hundreds bytes, like we did a 256 byte intro with simple music synthesizer in it and like 3D graphics in it too. And a few days after we released it, we released it with sources, commented sources, but it doesn't really matter because like it's so small that you can actually disassemble and follow it yourself. Like people found out ways to make it even smaller. So yeah, a smaller, and we like both smaller and fix some like rendering and artifacts in there. So yeah, it's always possible to do better. Квантмех, Simplify. Я не очень понимаю вопрос, и это не совсем моя предметная область. То есть... Вообще физики большие любители упростить все, то есть там сферический конь, вот это вот вся история. Можно. Короче, нам нужно вынести вот этот Max Draw Entities куда-нибудь. И для этого нам нужен какой-то там VK-конст, я не знаю. Потому что у нас сейчас эти все вещи раскиданы по везде. Yeah, let's do another file ref. VK const h. MLP? Что? Что? Я не понял. Частица и волна. Что не так с частичной волной? Scene entities. Max obscene entities. MLP. Да. Yeah, it's a bit a boring part of the stream, so I just copy stuff over and nothing interesting is going on. Why? Untidy. No, it's an okay use. Okay, maybe we should close this file and have this file on the entire screen. Okay, what? Scripter layouts. Oh, you have to like. This. Yeah, I guess this doesn't even need to have like Vulkan stuff, so we probably can move all of this stuff here. You need CL. Yeah, you need all of these. Ленуа Ко, спасибо за преследование. КК Хоро, тоже спасибо за преследование. Thank you, KK Horo and Ленуа Ко, for following and welcome to the stream. Thank you. Have no idea what language to speak. Like how. K-map. K-scene. Good luck and debug. Спасибо. Well, I guess I should just rename this, right? Right. Yeah. Okay, here's the good insight. How does the complexity of ray tracing compared to traditional rasterized graphics? Well. It depends. Like in these broad terms, ray tracing. Like it's possible to write ray tracing simpler than rasterized graphics. It's conceptually simpler than rasterized graphics, I think. The way it's done in Vulkan with RTX extensions is much more difficult, I would say. There is a lot of indirection. Like you have to set up acceleration structures. They are composed of geometries made a certain way. Then you have to and you have indices there. Then you have to set up shader binding table, which is just like a region of memory. Like you have to have a lot of shaders. Like so there's like ray generation shader, there is ray miss shader, ray hit shader, like ray closest hit shader, ray I think that there was another type of shader, but I forgot. Like there are many types of shaders. Yeah, there's another like shader, I forgot how it's called, but it's basically a library shader that you can call from other shaders. And these shaders, like, they can call each other too. So like ray generation shader will invoke a bunch of like it will involve fixed functionality that will trace rays through the acceleration structure, and as a result of that it will call other shaders if, for example, like whether geometry was hit, if nothing was hit, and yeah. So there's like a lot of stuff going on there. And then you have to like reference geometry somehow, which is also like indices. You have to set up this shader binding table, which is a table of all those shaders. Like there's not one type of, like there's a few types of shaders, but you have can have many shaders of each type corresponding like to different materials, for example. And like they can like look at each other, call each other, at like this complete mess. Like my head exploded there. Quake 2 RTX with Apex Legends. Probably Quake 2 RTX is way simpler than Apex Legends renderer, because modern rasterized renderers, they are crazily complex. There is a lot of there's a lot of things that they do. Shaders. Cartoon ray tracer, sure, but why? Yeah, you can do whatever. Like the ray tracing pipeline is there so that you can, like you still figure out shading and stuff manually. Like ray tracing pipeline only there to give you like. It's only there to answer this specific question. If I have a ray that starts from here and go into that direction, what does it hit? That's it. That's the entire functionality that ray tracing pipeline does. Everything else you do manually. So, and it's complex because there are like many situations. There's like this acceleration thing. So like if you had to figure out which geometry you hit from using this ray, you had to like enumerate all the geometry you have. It will be crazily expensive. So like there's a lot of like acceleration structures around that to do this enumeration quickly, and then there's a lot of this shader stuff so that you can handle different situations differently. So yeah, for example. Yeah, you can do, but I'm not sure whether why would you use ray tracing there? Like rasterizing is far more performant than ray tracing, because like you can operate in screen space already. Oh, yeah, that's a weird thing. We also need to rename shaders. Let's do it next. So we have like brush init thing. Yeah, this is not it. I guess we should do it like that. CLS entity. You don't know what CL entity is. That's odd. Дарт Вейдер, привет. C++ нет, здесь голый C, здесь C89, ANSI. Now that we have playable return capable interpretation will slowly take near future. So how do I answer to this? Ray tracing makes certain things that were very hackish in rasterized render possible. So like one yet unsolved problem in computer graphics remains like global illumination, which is the way to compute how everything, lights from everything affect everything. This is still unsolved, and ray tracing makes that kind of approachable, where you can do this path tracing thing, where you can try to figure out for like each pixel on screen, you can try to cast random rays in all directions and figure out where light comes from. It's not yet feasible to do for complex geometries, like how Quake 2 is barely simple enough to be real-time today. Anything more complex than that, like no, not yet. But for other things, like for figuring out what you should draw on screen, ray tracing also not great. Like it's slower than just trying to rasterize your screen. With ray tracing for like screen pixels, you can do proper depth of field effects where you can simulate how lens are done, like that each pixel on screen actually gets photons from like many points on scene actually. So yeah. Half-Life 1. Yeah, so this is what I'm trying to work on here. But yeah, for example, here I think what I will do traditional rasterizer for screen pixel stuff into like G buffer or something like that, and do ray tracing in compute shader afterwards for G buffer. I'm not sure how it's done in Quake 2 RTX. I only briefly looked at their presentation. But it doesn't, like using full-fledged ray tracing pipeline for like screen space doesn't look reasonable. Like rasterizing into G-buffer seems just faster ways to do things. But we'll see. I tried actually both ways, so I did. No, I did ray tracing in compute shaders, and I did ray tracing in ray tracing pipelines, and like compute shaders is kind of simpler to do, way simpler to do. Different texture depends on what to say. This is another problem, like a problem with assets, problem with tuning is a separate problem. I greatly hope that community will help me with that, because like I don't have enough bandwidth to do even that. Like you have to remaster your assets. Your assets have to be ready for ray tracing in a way that like they have to be basically PBR or something like that, otherwise it would look weird, but we'll see. My current estimation that we'll get to ray tracing by the end of February. And there we'll see how it looks, and maybe we'll figure out what to do from there. Okay, we need to have CL entity. What is that? Where is common CL entity? I think it's somewhere here. No? Not here? Why? it like this. Yeah. No? I haven't. Last time I saw Black Mesa was like many years ago, so I have to actually revisit that. Yep, Scale texture made higher poly NPC models and everything could be used here. We'll see, we'll see. There's another problem that we need to have. We actually need to have like proper light sources, and it's unclear as of yet whether we have light sources not stripped away from maps. Yeah, my Black Mesa changed, well, yeah. And it's another engine. Have also like VK Common. Maybe we should use like VK Common for stuff. I'm not sure. Light maps. What's VK Common? Yeah, that's common enough. Brush clear. Don't you have brush in here? Yeah, just like strings. Okay, I think this file is okay now. But now we need to figure this thing out. So BK map render, how do you work? Yeah, you have to look at G lists, draw list. Ported to my recent fork. Yeah. Who calls VK map render? Let's figure this out. Okay, so it's called from what? R at frame. So I think this should be like our render scene, right? Which is a function from like this case scene. Okay, map set view pass. Yeah, this is weird. Frame. Yeah, this is slightly weird. Дрон код где привет. Дебажи. Толком сейчас ничего не дебажу, я немножко рефакторю. Я рефакторю на браше и на сцену. Map init. That we pass. Yeah, I think this should be in scene, right? Yeah. You do the rotation compute shader. Will it be limited to screen space? Well, not really. Compute shader is just the way to invoke shaders. Like you can interpret, you can use it however you want. Труба зовет, да. Так, кэширование пайплайна. Кэширование пайплайна. Боязнь сцены. Упал. Оп, оп, упал. Что за стул? Слушай, я этот стул подобрал... привет, во-первых. F, вроде не F. Я этот стул подобрал на помойке. Я его подобрал на помойке. Слушайте, наверное, не я его. Наверное, жена у меня подобрала его на помойке. Или я его подобрал. Короче, я понятия не... Это далеко не новый стул. Администратор 07, привет. Так, да, я хочу вот это перенести, вот эту штуку перенести в... Это не брашевая фигня. Это... Сценовая фигня. Как же мне тесно. Это вот где-то здесь должно быть, да? Фохан Крофт, спасибо за преследование, добро пожаловать. У меня в Новосибирске был королевский стул, там вот этот вот Херман Миллер какой-то за штуку баксов. Я так и не понял, в чем прикол. Видимо, у меня не отваливается жопа. Фохан Крофт, thank you for following. Thank you, welcome to the stream. Аэрон, да-да-да, что-то такое. А он много где, много кто на нем сидит. Projection matrix. You know, is there a way to control shader execution time, for example, fragment shader? Executes for about 2 seconds. So on Windows there is I think it's global Windows thing, not specific to driver, where it basically waits for GPU to respond within like 5 seconds or something. It's tunable. And if shader executes longer than that, it can probably crash your... yeah, it will reset your GPU or something like that. Ужас, ужас, побоище. RVP, yeah, let's clean things up. What? No, 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 please, why? Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. Let's do this as a pointer. I can't type. Why? When will I learn to type? Yes. 2 секунды? Oh yeah. Okay. Kirana says that there's 2-second timeout, but just try to make it simplify. Old video produced using Half-Life Assassin Half-Life map on Quake 2 RTX. No, I haven't. Can you post the link, please? Let's make label. We never heard of any since that's on singular video. It will be compatible. It's not at all. Talk with the guy. Probably he used our Quake 2 RTX engine, which is completely, totally not compatible with Half-Life 2. So it's possible, like, to make a map for that. Maybe you could try to re-export Half-Life map into Quake 2 map, but it won't be, like, it won't be ever playable as Half-Life. You can only make it look like Half-Life. So it should be VK brush render, and it should be const ref upacity RVP, and it should be like a list of entities, entities. Maybe like const entity and size t. Not size t, it's integer, like num entities. Right? No, please no. Setup matrix, and now we have to go through our list of things to render. Or I guess it should be like draw list. It should be not entities, it should be draw list. And draw list is from like VK scene, which should be like completely visible to outside. Frame.ctl, do we need it? We will probably need it. We will open it when we need it. So like draw list is this thing. It should be publicly visible here. You pass S, do you need this? Yeah. Which are the same as Quake's. Quake 2. No, I mean like there are a lot of differences between Quake, whatever, and Half-Life GoldSrc engine. There's a lot of internal differences. I'm not sure about map. Map format seems different too, but not that much. Like, well, it's different in a way that you can't like open one in another. But I suppose there are a lot of other. There's slight different in format, and I suppose there are a lot of different objects inside. CL entity T, so your Oh, I guess I can like cl entity s. Yeah, I can forward declare this. What? So we have a draw list here, and now we can just go through the list and draw all the things that we care about, which is just brush things. But there's like, okay, so, I mean, there's map level stuff where like map geometry and stuff, then there are objects and there are some kind of scripts that behave in game, that do in-game behavior. So these can be, I suppose, very different between games. But again, I have no idea what I'm talking about. I have never looked deep enough into it. Brush render, so we need to export this function too, and I guess we also need to forward declare all this stuff. Control list S. And now this thing will call kbrush render fix me RBP and g lists draw list. And that's it, right? Draw list T, construct draw list as what? Tony Trollston 7, welcome. Thank you for following. Thank you. Welcome to stream. Yeah, so for what I know, Xash3D started as an attempt to take Quake 1 engine and mod it enough so it's able to run Quake Half-Life levels, plays Half-Life. So it's basically like Quake 1 engine with a bunch of stuff on it, on top of it. do we do everything that we need? Okay, load brush model. Oh, I guess we need to export this function too. Model T. How do you debug in the engine at the moment? Mostly visually. Will it compile? No, it won't, because yeah, we have to VK core to date VK, yeah. Scene and VK brush needs. Oh, not VK scene. Do we don't even need scene here, we need VK brush. Brush down. We got like buffed way up really hard. Yeah. Our main. We do compile, but I'm really scared to run this. Okay, so if my GPU crashes, this will probably be the end of the stream. Let me try to figure out what our comments are, because I have no idea whether we won't crash. We change way too many things. So let's try to manually. Half-Life 2? Whoa, that's inane. Okay, so what we do, like, let's, okay, scene, new map. So we have a new map thing, clears light maps, clears brushes, and then also clears draw list. I suppose this is correct way to do things. Loads all the models. And then uploads light map. Maybe there's a case for this being a better API, like VK begin, VK load brushes, and this entire thing, because it's like brush specific, right? I don't know. Алексей, привет. Yeah. Something like K brush begin load. I'm not sure, it seems like it would be a better API, but who knows. Спрайты сегодня должно быть слишком сложно. Давайте попробуем. Я сейчас немножко зарефакторил. Я посмотрел на студию моделей и так типа, нет, я пока за них не берусь. Я чуть-чуть решил порефакторить, чтобы это было все покраше. Сейчас посмотрим, хватит ли у меня времени еще на спрайт модели. РПП. Так, VK Frame CTL. То есть загрузка вроде похожа на правду. Пас. Сообщение не то. GL Render Frame тоже не то. So we have end frame. And on end frame we do begin render scene. Which goes into scene C, render scene, which does brush render. This is not correct. This is totally not correct. This should be like VK scene render void, because this function might be called by something external, and we can't do that because this actually requires stuff like properly set up command buffer. Далее есть код без бигинов. Elements. Points называется, потому что так было в трендере первой кваки. О! Это ты смотришь стрим с большой задержкой или это уже сейчас комментирование? Да, по-моему, это большая задержка. Ты не догонишь. Не догонишь. Я боюсь, что я закончу стримить раньше. Уже догнал. Отлично. Короче, там я сказал же про это, да? Привет, написал, уже догнал. Окей. Я сказал, что, наверное, там я могу просто скопировать весь существующий код, попробовать. Вот мне было непонятно вот этот квар по Draw Elements, он для всего, то есть насколько он используется вообще для всего. Если я его могу заиспользовать, то я, наверное, могу попробовать. Но давайте в следующий раз. Мне нужно к этому прям подготовиться. Там что-то много мяса. Думаю, плохая идея. В смысле, плохая идея пытаться просто скопировать. Лучше написать свое, да? Окей. Хорошо. Хорошо. Давайте попробуем. Тогда мне нужно еще больше времени, чтобы в это все въехать. Так, VK Render Scene, да? И VK Scene Х. Так, давайте map и init. У тебя тут остались какие-нибудь map функции? New map только остался. Map set и map set view params. Давайте тогда вот этого всего не будет. Okay, scene set view params. Scene set view pass называется. И тогда frame CTL. Откуда ты вызываешься? А ты мне сейчас скажешь просто, лол. Frame CTL C. Кстати, наверное, можно... Хочу ли ее видеть? Let's have breakpoints. It's good. What do you mean, how bad? Okay, guys, I think I'm ready to try to run it. But I'm not sure whether it will fail. Let's do like it diff once more, because if it crashes my GPU, it will be the end of the stream. Crash needs. Will I see anything here? Yeah, it's hard to tell. Okay, YOLO. So we have a yeah, we have a crash because lists. Oh, and we I guess we crashed LLDB2. Nice. Nice. Awesome. Let's try it once more, whether it happens all the time. Okay, now PJ lists. Now it works. For some reason, who knows what. Oh, draw list is 0. Why is draw list is 0 though? We are coming from CL3, a process and data allocate false, which is, yeah, I have no idea what that is. Where do we assign? Let's close frame CTL. Draw list. Where do we assign draw list? So we assigned it on new map, but previously we were assigning it on creation. I see. So we probably need to have like VK scene init. That does something like G lists. Can we do like draw list outside brush? Yeah. Does it really matter? Yeah, I guess we should start with this thing. Draw list is gdraw stack. I wonder if we should do this too, because we weren't doing this previously and it worked okay. Maybe we should do it like that. Scene H. Okay, scene. Who will call scene init? Is it time? Yeah, I have to. I will soon have to go. Yeah, let's try it once more. Again, hope that it doesn't crash. Well, it doesn't draw anything, which is weird. Why? Why wouldn't it draw anything? It's as if it doesn't call our draw thing. VK render scene, and it calls into VK brush render with this fix me RVP thing. Brush render. Yeah, it doesn't call anything. VK scene render frame CTL and frame. Yeah, because it was the wrong function. Ninja Breakbot, thank you for following and welcome to the stream. Так, давайте пересоберемся. Выйдем. И вот теперь оно, наверное... Так, breakpoint, disable. Now we have the thing. Да, я пересобрал, поэтому сейчас там стало все сильно лучше. No texture animation either. Yeah. It's back. Streams should be fine. Okay. I guess refactoring worked, I hope. Now we need to add all of these things. Yeah, I tried to like compare draw calls previously, which is I shown you today when stream started. Light стили. Надо до них добраться. Мне, к сожалению, надо уже идти. Я сейчас посмотрю, могу ли я быстро запилить эти самые... Спрайт? Как они? Делали brush init, map shutdown, brush shutdown, scene, yeah. Браш мы вынесли отдельно и вот brush model, да, все, что про брашем, мы вынесли отдельно. И это мы переименовали. Split VK map into VK scene and VK brush. Scene controls entity list for scenes. Brush is only responsible for drawing brush models. Did the virtual Half-Life maps together? Yes, I did. Thank you, thank you. I also merged, later I merged Half-Life 2 and all the episode, but I haven't made the video about that. It's already, yeah. I should really make a video about Half-Life, all Half-Life 2 maps merged together. But I wanted to first make it render more properly, and I have never gotten to that. Yeah. 8 years ago, I was barely I was learning programming back then. I was already working as a software engineer, but I was not doing any clever stuff yet. Чего не хватало? Позвать вот этот scene render. Light стили быстрее спрайтов. А я не понимаю их, в том-то и дело. Больше элементов сделано. H2. Окей. Или... Я запутался. Так, light стили. Мне надо про них почитать, я ничего про них не понимаю. И про спрайты я тоже ничего не понимаю. Слушай, не, давайте я не буду сегодня ни во что ввязываться. Я думаю, что на сегодня это все. Да, потому что у меня еще куча дел, мне надо все успеть. И я, да. Про Hell 2 давай поговорим в Дискорде. Вот. И про, значит, light стили и... спрайты в следующий раз. Okay, I think this is it for today. Unfortunately, I don't have any more time. Today. Yeah, I should go. I have too much stuff to do. And we'll get to do light styles and sprites next time. I hope. I hope they is easier than studio models. And we'll try to look at studio models on Saturday. Not on Saturday, just Saturday. So Wednesday we do light styles and sprites, and Saturday we do studio models. I think this is the current plan. Shift opponent force dedicated how that engine could run such large maps. Yeah, engine can't run. Like, it's impossible to run such maps in engine because all the maps are close to their to engine limits. My tool just drew them as a geometry, as a static geometry, and that's it. Like, it didn't have any engine limits. Maybe we can patch Xash3D to run such games, but again, like, it's difficult because maps do self-intersect a lot. Like, there are a lot of self-intersections. It wasn't meant to be rendered like that. And maps they do have geometry at the end of the map that basically, like, there are walls that won't allow you to pass between levels. Because brush geometry, like, for BSP purposes, it had to be watertight. Yeah, so there's a lot of things like that, but technically it maybe could be possible. Like, I wonder if we can patch Xash3D to be streamable, so, like, there's no loading between levels, so, like, it preloads the next level in background or something like that. It should be doable technically, but it would be, like, way difficult. Like, it would be difficult to do. Делать рейтрейсинг будешь или это ультрадолгосрочные планы? Текущий план, что рейтрейсинг будет к концу февраля. Я думаю, что мы будем делать рейтрейсинг, и, в принципе, там за пару стримов, я думаю, мы получим первые какие-то рейтрейснутые картинки. Что-то такое. Run some museum mode. Museum mode? Maybe, but it would be possible to do this just as standalone utility without any Unreal Engine. This is how my tool operates. What? Can we do some who streaming programming? I want to rate someone. Yeah, and my time is running out. Whom do I rate? Whom do I rate? Иханго, привет, привет. Да, я, к сожалению, уже заканчиваю стримить. Надо идти. 44, Max Payne 44, thank you for following. Welcome to the stream that is being concluded for today. Михан, спасибо за преследование, спасибо, добро пожаловать. Диплом 24, привет. So, yeah, it's an open source tool, like it's literally called open source. I love dumb names for my projects. So like it's failing, yeah, because like it's been kind of neglected. But it works. It also has a Vulkan renderer, so like I learned Vulkan render on this project, and it also has like Vulkan RTX ray tracing there in a separate branch. But yeah, it also works like on Raspberry Pi and stuff. Not for Vulkan. I haven't tried Vulkan there. It does like all of these games work. Portal 2 doesn't work because like the levels are vastly different. Like there's something wrong with format, and I didn't have time to investigate. Yeah. I tried to make public builds of these, but I think I failed. Like they should be kind of... Yeah, there are no releases for some reason. Okay, I was trying to rate someone. Whom should we rate? There's these. I want something hardcore. I want something like C, low level, whatever thing. Maybe even Rust. Not Unreal Engine, please no. Linux. What? У кого-нибудь есть какие-нибудь хорошие рекомендации, что кого можно зарейдить? Я что-то опять шаром покати, опять никто не стримит. Blender. Learning Rust. JavaScript. Unity drives me crazy, yeah. Okay. Gamoza. Gamoza? I don't like Unreal Engine. Like it's way too... It's way too heavy. Too many gigabytes of whatever. So, what? What is this? JS стримить. Я стримил как-то JS маленько.
I can get IDA through Microsoft, but they use the like floating license that requires that your like domain joined to a machine that can access the licensing server.
I have no idea what's going on in this stream.
A monster or, you know, a tree or like here we actually support.
This is some C++. Okay, nice. It's TypeScript, right? TypeScript. Okay. Oh, it's Vulkan. It's Vulkan. Yeah, I think we have. Like, we haven't rated this person ever, so like I think it's a good opportunity for us to say hi to a fellow Vulkan programmer. Yeah. Like this open source utility is like a few kilobytes of code. A few dozen kilobytes. It's less than 100k, I think. Yeah. Кажется, иногда, да. So yeah, I think This is who we rate. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on Wednesday and add some more stuff for our render. Not studio models. Studio models on Saturday. I hope we'll get to that. Всем спасибо, что смотрели. Передавайте привет следующему стримеру и до среды. Say hi to the next streamer. See you on Wednesday and bye.